Hello, 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 hello. Hello, everyone. My name is Mamba, or at least that's what I'm called online. Um, and I would like to make a video. Like this is entirely unscripted. I like to make a video that's just putting it out there. I wanted to put this online, on my YouTube and so on, just to showcase my mod list. My mod list has been something that I've been very passionate about. It's something that I've been working on for the past 5 years and a couple of months. Um, I have made an incredibly insane amount of custom mods or changed existing mods, and all in an attempt to create, an experience that I think me, and most importantly, future me, will have fun playing indefinitely. So it was never a mod list intended to be played right now, or a mod list intended to be played once. It was meant to be a high fantasy sandbox, something that I would enjoy for many, many years to come. Um, and hopefully, as rigs get better and computers get better, my mod list just becomes more and more accessible. Hopefully, but yeah, most likely I won't be showing everything that I've made because that's just a little bit unfeasible. There's just so much that I have created over the past 5 years that most likely some will escape through the cracks and I'll not remember or not showcase. Otherwise, we would be sitting here the whole day. But yeah, I think I just wanted to make this to put it out there. Sometimes if people ask me how my mod list looks like and so on, this will be a nice video to show. Like if they want to see different aspects of it and so on. There's also the fact that I really, really enjoy seeing other people's mod lists, other people's creations, and their takes on this game and what you can do with it. I find it very interesting how people do that, even if it's not something that I particularly would do. I think it's extremely interesting to see what attracts, what attracts other people towards this game and this community. And by making this video, I think it would be nice, a nice way to start things off and make it so other people maybe do the same, because I'm very curious about it. But yeah, I want to get started. I think the best place to start will be in the character creation, right? Right at the start. I have fully customized this using some of my mods, some mods made by me and a really good friend of mine, and some are already used and known by many people. Like I'll show in a little bit, like biggie traits, which they are not entirely vanilla or from anywhere else. They are I've changed them and I have customized them. I've customized a fair amount of mods out there, if not most mods out there that I have on my mod list. So yeah. The way that I have my classes is they are completely custom. I've changed quite a lot of their passives, and some of my classes are not really meant to be, or races in this case, are not really meant to be races. They are meant to be classes. So let me give you an example. My Altmar, if you can read from the text, it's not really describing the race. It's describing a character in particular. Some of my races slash characters are meant to be just one, the one that I designed for it. So, for example, my female Nord, I would say she's the main character of the cast. And let me show you. There. Just automatically creates her. And if you go to Nord, Black Mamba's strong and hardy and a mighty warrior through and through. So she's meant to be her own class, and if I play Nord, I'm always going to play her because she's meant to be this specific race. And they have their own story, their own lore, which I'm not going to get into here. But the they all have like some custom assets. I spent a long time making them, um, and I'm very proud of them. I have like a ton of pictures, a ton of like I've shared it in many places. They are my digital daughters, as I call them, and I'm very proud of like the amount of effort they all took. I can show you later on. They all have their own powers. They all have their own passives. They have their own flavorful little stuff. For example, she has two different passives. She is supposed to be like a raging berserker, right? So her passive is that she just goes rage mode. She starts like beat everything down. And if she's a vampire, she kind of becomes a banshee, and she summons frost around her, drains health, and she also goes like raging berserker. You need to like use your vampire claws to deal damage. Um, yeah. I also have my Altmar, for example. She's like my demon hunter, inspired like by demon hunters in World of Warcraft. If I go over here, these are meant to be like her actual skin. Like this is meant to be her actual skin. She's like a half Daedra, half Altmar. You know, Altmar people, they love power. So she is meant to be a spell sword. My Nord was meant to be like a pure warrior. I also have. Alright, back. So sorry, I had to cut a little bit because I kind of messed it up. Uh, Showcasing them. But all good, all good. We are back. And yeah, so there's more. There's my Bosmer that I've been working on. She is from actually preset still on the Nexus. Ulveni, if I'm not mistaken, it's the character name. Um, I'm using her as a base for Bosmer purely because I really like the concept. She looks really cool, and I'm still working. Like I'm not entirely certain if I want to have like a custom Bosmer or not. I really like them, so I think I will. But yeah, she's like a work in progress for now. What else? I also have Breton, my beautiful widow. She has some custom assets, like she made a pact with Mafala, and she can summon a lot of spiders. She's a spider mancer. Yeah, that's her power. I would say, out of all the characters I made, she might be the strongest. But I think that's good because, in general, in Skyrim, magic tends to be a little bit on the weak side in the beginning. At least, like at the start of the game, magic tends to be a little bit weaker than just being a pure melee. And even in my game, it's also like that. For magic, you kind of need to min max a little bit more. So I think it's fine if she's like stronger. Dunmer, you might recognize. Let me also just fix this because they are not supposed to have these textures. They look normal. You might recognize her. Also, a fair amount of work. Thank you, Dint, because he made the hair and the eyebrows, and they really helped me, create the character. I love Sylvanas. I've been playing World of Warcraft since 2007, so a long time undead player here, and yeah, like always liked Sylvanas. Always liked the concept of the character, and these doomed type of characters that are brooding but very cool. I always like them a lot. So yeah, I made her completely inspired in Sylvanas. I made her like the makeup like her. Tried to recreate the expression as much as I could, and she has her own passive, her own power is actually like very inspired in Sylvanas as well. Of course, she takes souls out of people. She can shoot arrows that will paralyze them. These arrows are actually chains. So just like actually Sylvanas, she shoots chains that paralyze enemies, and she casts a lot of soul drain. And she's inspired in bow and arrow and light armor. Yeah, I have the Nord I've shown you. I have a Omezhat. She is inspired in my cat Fufu. Like he has the same little marks and the same type of like uh, fur color and so on. And I thought she would be like cool. She is my sneaky character. Like she has lots of custom animations, lots of like little details that give her away as not being fully human. You know, like she moves a little bit more like she's a little bit more agile, and her power, her daily power, makes it so she goes completely invisible and she summons copies like Naruto. She like summons a Kage Bunshin, and she goes completely invisible, which I think is very cool for the character. I will show you in a little bit, like their powers, like very very quickly. Yeah. Now all the others that I didn't mention, they are just um, like a little bit more default type of characters. They are meant to be for more generic playthroughs when I don't feel like playing my main characters, you know, the ones that I just mentioned. So, say, Argonian. I know she doesn't have eyes, but I swear to you, they can. They she does. It just you just need to like give them some. Um, is it here? There you go. um, yeah, like my Argonians are a little bit more like healer slash caster. Alchemy, they are cool if you want to make like an alchemist playthrough. Um, my Imperials are, of course, as the base game, they're like jack of all trades. They have like 5 on almost everything and 10 in speechcraft. They're like the race to play if you are not entirely certain what you want to do, or if you want to like be a little bit more jack of all trades, or you know, they are like the default template. So any generic character can go through an Imperial and have success. You know, there's also Khajiits, of course. I know, again, same as Argonians, they might look weird, but they're not. I just need to like give them proper eyes, and they are all fine. My Khajiit, you know, they are kind of the same as Omerats. They have more passives. Actually, my Omerats, they do not really have any passive concerning mercantile, like selling stuff. Khajiits do. Pure Khajiits, they do. they, I would say that all of my races, Khajiits are the one that I have updated and modified the most to be in theme with actual Khajiit. You know, the race in the lore. They're like more thieves. They make like less noise. They are more difficult to see. All of that fancy cool stuff. Orcs are basically, I would say, the counterparts to Nords. Nords and Orcs could be almost played interchangeably. So because I already have a Nord as a class, I have like made an Orc. Orcs to be very very similar, except Orcs are better at smithing. Uh, like they're actually no, they're pretty much the same. Yeah, I made them like very very similar. I would say that maybe they're better at heavy armor. Yeah, they're just slightly better at heavy armor, but very similar. The same passive power. I like the vanilla orc power, you know, just going angry, so it's fine. They're probably the race I changed the least because I think from base they are already quite decent. Red guards for the light armor variant, more dexterity. They are probably out of all of them the race with the least amount of variety in their passives, but they are just very strong. Like they already start with 15 in one-handed. They can cast a little bit of spells as well, so they are like a little more spell sword type of character. So they would be the counterpart to my Altmars because my Altmar is a spell sword. So yeah, And there's also suitable Khajiits just because they're cute. That's it. Like I literally have them just because they're cute. They're exactly the same as my Nords. So they will be like, sorry, not my Nord. They're exactly the same as my normal Khajiit. Yeah, that's it. Like a lot of customization, lots of hairs, but I think that's normal. Everyone has those. So yeah, let's say I want to make my North, for example. I'm gonna just color YouTube just for this exact video. And now you can select one major skill that will give you 10 points, or you would pick two minor skills that will give you 5 points. In my mod list, I would recommend always to make a character focused for one style, one playthrough, unless you are specifically aiming to be like a jack of all trades. Then there is also stuff that you can make for that, but like making your character like with a clear focus in mind, it's like a big like making a character big focused for one specific type of build, or one build path rather, not just like I'm going to be just a one-ended character. Like you can make it has a bit more nuanced than that, but it incentivizes you to, you know, be a warrior, be a mage, be a thief, and stick to those play styles rather than trying to change halfway through. So say for her, I would like to be a pure warrior. That's like what she's good at, like from her passives and so on. So I'm gonna make like heavy armor and two-handed, for example. Alright, when I pick that, you see on the side, I received a bunch of items. These items, I have like customized every single one of these choices, and the way I try to balance it in a way that works well when you pick like multiple ones to fit like multiple playstyles. And I'll show you in a second. Then, you know, you gotta pick your stone. You can go throughout like the entire game and pick more. This is just your starting one. And some of these I have before you say anything. Yes, I used AI for the images. You know, I still don't really like AI, but I think they would look cool. They all have like the same style, and you know, they are very easy to make. And this was like a self-made mod. I am not a very good 2D artist, so also this is just for me, not for commercial purposes. So I think it's fine, right? Like for those little small projects, I think AI is fine. Not necessarily for big projects where you need to actually sell them, but for small projects, all right. Anyway, with that out of the way, I am going to pick a stone. Some of these are made by the mod author himself, which at this point, I'm sorry, I don't even remember where it is from. I think it's Inai, maybe? Might be Inai, and his mod for this. But I did modify a fair amount of them, so they are not exactly online or on the Nexus, like a copycat version of this, an exact one by one. Not copycat, I'm sorry, a complete one by one version of this mod. Again, I'm sorry, this is completely unscripted, so I'm stumbling a little bit of my words. It's also yeah, like English is not the first language, so I need sometimes a little bit to think. Yeah, like, because I want to make like a very basic area. I think like if you want the first 3 stones, they just work well regardless of what you want. But all the others are also very fine for specific playstyles. Like I can be a warrior, and instead of going with the warrior stone, I can go with the lord stone, right? And with the lord stone, I do not regen stamina, but like my power attacks are going to deal more damage. I'm going to have more stamina, you know, so it still works very well into that playstyle. It's just, you know, for variety's sake, for interesting builds, like the having a little bit of choice, a little bit of freedom in doing a build that's like not cookie cutter. So that's why all of these are here, right? Like the lover, for example, literally works on any type of build, you just get random enchanted items, which it's good for literally anyone. And you can also pay to heal yourself, which it's pretty cool. This is not exactly pay to heal the damage that you have recently taken. It's pay to heal your debuffs that you get if you die. Um, Ritual Stone, just like for necromancer, so on. Like, and yeah, like lots of these are like specific for this particular video. I'm just gonna go with the warrior. The warrior is very nice. It fits almost any melee slash physical damage playstyle. Power attack, steal damage, ranged weapons do more damage, magic resist increase, like it's pure melee. You get more regen, like all of them are fit into that, right? Sneaking, more stamina regen increased. Mage, spells more effective, more stamina regen. Yeah, like they're very good to just complete your playstyle. And then, but yeah, next, confirm. Go with the warrior. Now it's going to ask me my traits. This is, as you probably know from like Lorem, and it's a very well-known mod nowadays, like Piggy traits, right? I have made the decision to make 3, allow for 3, because I have overhauled quite a few of these, and I've made some of my own to like work well with each other. And 3, it's usually the ones you need to make a full build. So say I want to go with a warrior, right? I don't know. For warrior, there's just so much I could do. So much. Like there's a huge amount of like specific traits that you can pick. You can also go with none. Again, like that freedom, it's what I find really interesting. I don't know. Let's see. Having 50% increase in spellcasting cost. Perfect for me. More health, more stamina, more carry weight. I'm not gonna cast spells anyway, so impressive physique. I think it's perfect. Getting 100 armor, reflecting 10%. You drain 3 additional stamina per second while sprinting, and you move 10% slower. I don't like to move slower, so I'm not gonna go with that one. But I could bring another perk to make it so I can walk faster to counteract this. So, you can bring perks to counter other perks' negative effects. Again, some of these have been modified, some are like by default. I also tried to make all of the images concise. There's many mods for this out there, and the quality for them are like very different. I have really tried to make them all look fairly similar. Again, it's like more AI stuff, but not gonna go into it again, but it's like before. Like what I mentioned before. This one's like pretty cool. Say I want to go like for power attacks, right? Big swing, fencer. It's like one and the other. One or the other in this case. You pick one or pick another. This one is probably one of my favorites. The Wandering Monk. You get like a custom staff. Actually, you deal damage with stuff. There's one where you get a custom stuff. That's very cool. What else? Actually, there's so many. I don't want to like go and read them right now, but I think that if I'm playing like by myself, I'm going to have a lot of fun in the future reading them and like, this build can work well with this and can work well with that. I've been playtesting a lot right now, so hopefully I'll forget most of it in the future. Yeah. Oh, another one that would fit perfectly for my build, right? You strike with brutal force, power attack deal 50% more damage, spells cost more magicka. That's fine. I'm not gonna cast spells with this character, so that's awesome. I can go with this too, with this precision. I can go with impressive physique, and let's see what else can I go with. Last few move 10%, but also deal 10%. I don't know. Oh, I mean, this one's cool, no? Less than 50% HP, you move faster, regenerate more stamina, but also deal 20% less damage. I think it's fine, right? If you keep yourself healthy. But it's also like a a bit specific, which is fine. Uh, hmm, but thirsty. Hmm. Like, this one can be cool, right? It's a Kiss Curse perk. You deal more damage, you take more damage. Axes and blunt weapons. Oh, cool, oh, cool. Let's go with that one. Yeah, like, so, I like went through the building of my character. Oh, cool. Next step, I think, like, this is probably the same for many people, is to go to mod configuration and just go to MCM recorder. I'm just gonna run it. I'm a world. To like set up all of my stuff. Um, I'm still using alternate start. I never changed to alternate perspective, mainly because I have already customized a lot of stuff. As you can see, I have like bags for cosmetics and so on, like stuff that I don't think fit exactly in my game, for a normal playthrough. But they are like in different bags here. If I just want to like gather them, get them, and just like have like cool wings or cool earrings or whatever, they're here. And some stuff I already placed here. I have written my own guide to, uh, like in the future, in case I forget something or how the game works, or like custom key binds that are not necessarily anywhere. It's all written here, and I can just take it with me and read it if I need to. I actually need to update this one to fit some of my recent updates, but yeah. Potion of Embracing, purely because if, along with a note next to it to remind me why do I have this here. Some vampire overhauls, like the one I'm using, Sacrosanct, can cause issues during Dawnguard when it comes to transform you into a vampire, like a vampire lord, if you are not a vampire beforehand. So this is basically here. If I want to go and do Dawnguard, I'll just drink this one, become an actual vampire, and then everything else in Dawnguard will work fine. I am not exactly sure if this is like a quirk of my mod list in particular, but it's like as far as I'm concerned, it's like a somewhat common bug that happens. I'm not quite sure if it was ever fixed, but I don't really need to, because this is here and it's like perfectly fine. Another book for cosmetics that I can bring along with me so I can craft them. This is like a bunch of like stuff that I've made over time. A little backpack. This is like the weakest backpack that I have, but it's also to like start the game and go so on. I have like a little stuff going on in my UI that needs to like be fixed eventually. I've been putting it off a little bit, like maybe actually if I just run the recorder again, because some stuff wasn't loaded when I ran it. And it might fix that, because I'm not entirely certain if I already fixed that or not. Yeah, so as I mentioned before, you get items when you select your major traits, and they're all of the aspiring something. They're like all items that I've made using just game assets, like base game armors. Some of them are modded armors and modded items that I think they fit well as like a beginner gear. So like I made a warrior, right? I gave myself two-handed, and I gave myself heavy armor. So like if I go to my skills, my two-hander is already at 30, my heavy armor is already at 25. That's because you get the base, right? You start at 15 with everything, and then Nords have a little bit more. Oh, okay, that's fine. Nords have a little bit more armor and two-handed and so on. And then when I select those perks, I gain 5 in each. So I have like 20 armor by base, and then I get 25. 25 into hand, and then I get another 5. By doing so, I also receive the matching gear for it, which will be like a great sword, will be like a nice looking armor with just a little bit of like stats increase. My game is relatively difficult. It's very From Software inspired. It's my favorite company, my favorite type of games, and I've been designing my mod list to be From Software inspired since day one when I started back in 2021, and I don't think many people used to do that back then. I think they started doing it like over the years with MCO and SkySA and so on. But yeah, like I started pretty much when SkySA came out, and then I've been like testing, and like I always been a participant, talking a lot with D-Star in throughout its development. Back in the day when he was developing MCO, I was always the one, like in the chat, like me and some other folks that were like very nice people. We were always like testing the mod with him and helping its development. And it's been very fun developing a From Software list inspired for Skyrim. I still like a lot of stuff from Elder Scrolls that I have not changed, or I have just touched up. I didn't make them like fully From Software inspired. Some stuff I just never really changed because I think it's fine. Some stuff I did, but not to be From Software style, more to be like my own. But yeah, just like giving that warning, because I know lots of people have like issues with From Software games. They don't really like Souls-like in Skyrim, or they just don't like Souls-like in general. But yeah, I love it. Uh, so my mod list can be a little bit rough, like a little bit difficult. Ooh. So that's why I give myself like a lot of like little boosts at the start. It's because they're kind of necessary. Oh, another cool thing, you also get earrings to match whatever playstyle you pick. Almost every single option is going to give you like cool earrings with like buffs. See, like they have physics and so on. They're very nice, very pretty. I didn't make them. They're also like a mod online. I don't remember where they're from, but yeah, they are. I think they like look very cool. Whatever you pick a character, I think they complement the characters and playstyles, give them a little bit of like personality. So yeah, like now I have like a full-fledged character. I have like all of my starter gear. I have my character, my passives, and so on. Like as I said, like the endurance from the Warrior Stone. Like I have like all of my passives, all of my traits. I have, my racial passives as well. Resist frost, by being a Nord. Nords regenerate more stamina because they're meant to be melee heavy characters, and stamina is very important in my combat. Since my combat is pretty much Sekiro, like, so stamina is like your second health bar. And yeah, like you get like this entire thing, like you already get like a lot of stuff at the start, but I don't think it's overwhelming. I think most of it's like a passive, because I don't want to create a character that like starts at level 1 and then just has like infinite amounts of quests popping up and a bunch of like spells from mods and so on. Like I hidden all of those like spells that you can just use an MCM menu, or they can just be configured in the background and you don't need to think about them anymore. Like lots of these mods that like useless spells, it's all hidden. I try to make like my character creation experience as seamless as possible, so it's like you just pick your stuff, you build your character, you get like a starter gear, you gather your little things at the start, like the little paper explaining you stuff, the survival guide, and my little book with recipes, and you can just go on. You get like your starter character, starter spells. That's cool. Yeah, you have your, like for example in my character, right? You have like 2 passives, Rallying Cry, or rather 2 actives, Rallying Cry, and another one, the Mamba Rage, which is specific for Nords, as I mentioned before. Yeah, like I can show you a little bit, right? It's like specific to her, just becomes like a Raging Berserker, deals more damage. Like your damage, it just increases. You like fucking destroy people. And it's like very fun. I I also have like wait, I can just skip, just remove it right back to normal. I have stances, like a lot of stances. This like number, like the original stance, like some move sets. I have move sets for every weapon combination and every weapon in the game, including some custom ones for my animated armory. And then I have like a little bit of other mixes from other people. I have like from Ming Ming, I have from Smooth, I have like a whole bunch of combinations, and not only those, but also from other mod authors, other animators, some animations I've made myself, um, and also even from Patreons and so on. Like it's a huge combination of animations that I have created over the years, pretty much since dynamic animation replacer came out. I started doing that. In fact, there's probably videos on my YouTube right now, like year-old videos that from when I started. So if you want to see like very early concepts and mixes of those, they are in my YouTube. Like I don't know, from 2-3 years ago. And throughout the years, I never really restarted any of that. I only worked and built upon it. So you can probably imagine like the combination of animations that I have is like gigantic, which it's there to give me like more variety again, like have more fun doing whatever. If I find a custom cool weapon in the game that if it's like named right, if it's like a very unique weapon, it's chances are it's going to have its own move set, and it's going to be have like its own powers and passives and so on. Yeah, so like say for example this one, right? It's like the default, and then if I switch stances, it's going to behave differently, and then I can switch to another stance, going to like have another move set. It's like more for AoE, like multiple enemies, and then I switch to this one, and this one I think it's for honor. I think my fourth stance it's always for honor, and I blended it together. So like say you have like side attacks with like every single stance from for honor, so they can like blend well. If I'm like doing light attacks, see, I can switch to my fourth stance and it blends seamless. I'm like doing the sweeping attacks, switch to my second stance, and it goes that, and then I switch to my fourth stance, and it goes to For Honor. And this works with all of them. Like it's just again like to make it like combat and everything not only more fluid but also more varied. And say I'm like fighting a single fucking enemy, right? I'm just like bah, bah. And then his friends show up. I click on 3, and now I'm going to do sweeping attacks, right, for AoE. So that's like also part of like getting to know your character and getting to know the play styles and the move sets. So it becomes like it has like its own little skill ceiling, getting to know all of these little things about your character and about like the game itself. Yeah, so like very simple. These barrels, I think I might have like add a little bit more food to them, because again I also like change the food in my game, right? Like I use gourmet. I use pretty much the entire Simon suite, but also modified it all a little bit to be even more seamless. I like Simon suite because it's very I would say like I'm not gonna say super simple because it has like its little things, but it's simple enough and it's seamless enough to build upon all of it. So like you can make a very cohesive. They are just killing each other and giving me XP. It's like a very cohesive overhauls that they work very well, and you can now build upon them. So say I got that fruit right, like magical regen, good. I think I'm gonna give some items in these barrels, like make one of these barrels be unique, so it doesn't have like random drops every time I start the character, and just have like one barrel have say a couple of apples and bread and so on, so they can give me a little bit of magic regen and food and stamina, which are the three big buffs that you'll get with food in my game. It's stamina, magic, and health. And their quantities, like depending on the food itself, is either 10 or 25%. 10 for whatever you find in the wild, 25 for cooked food. And yeah, I really like it that way. I really enjoy like simple modifications, like in terms of perks and so on, because I already modified the game so much. Like there's so many spells and overhauls and animations and so on that I feel like it's very okay to have just stat increases in your skills. So like say if I go to ended, right, like just a little bit more damage here, reducing armor, like simple stuff, nothing crazy. Breaking locks, I think it's like something really cool that you can do with Adamant. Like the mods work well together to break locks. So like you can approach dungeons and approach anything in different ways depending on your playstyle, right? A thief or a mage is not exactly going to do a dungeon the same way a warrior will. And I think with Adamant and like my changes, that will become like quite noticeable in the game. So like say if I want to play an archer, right, if I grab a bow and arrow with this character, with my warrior, she's going to be really bad at it. But she's excellent and being melee and approaching the game that way. So it's like in an attempt to make your characters more unique. All of it in an attempt to make your characters more unique. Yeah, so that's like my pitch for Simon Mods. I know lots of people think they're like too basic, which is fair. It's fair. They are a bit too basic if you are not looking to modify your game further than that. But if you are, I think they are very good to make a cohesive game. Yeah, so like anyway, I've made like all of that. I don't need nothing from here because they are all just cosmetic items that I can bring with my characters. And I'm going to pick something.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
For this particular case, I think I'm gonna start in Riverwood. It's like I'm a patron.
Which inn are you a patron of?
This, where is the sleeping giant? There it is.
Even the lowest among us can rise to greatness.
So say I'm a warrior, just chilling in Riverwood. And now, while I'm gonna walk to Whiterun to show you a little bit of my open world and so on, yeah, I'm gonna talk a bit about my mod list and like things that I've done to it, I suppose. Like this gives you just a random gear, right, when you pick a character. It also gives you food, which is also the reason why I haven't modified or done anything yet. It's just because you already get food. So, oh yeah, see, like the stews will give you 50 even, not 25. Some food will give you 25. But yeah, like I really like these little stat increases. They're very simple to keep track of. See, like this one gives 25. The stews will all give you 50. I have made all of them seamless. There's like a lot of stews from different mods, different quests and so on. Everything is super seamless in my game. Like it doesn't matter if you're like doing clockwork or whatever quest mod. The food in there, it's going to fit and be seamless and be exactly the same as vanilla. So you take one of these before combat, which you will most likely need to do so. Like I'm not gonna say that it's necessary. Like in the combat in my game, you can get away without having this, but having this is just a nice bonus, like a very nice bonus to have on top of it, which is how I try to approach my philosophy behind my game. It's just you can do whatever you want, even if it's not optimal. But if you go the optimal way, you will have like a lot of success, like a lot more success. But again, like not completely impossible if you don't go the optimal way. Alright, so, I'm in Riverwood. Little Dagoth is there having fun, chilling. I'm gonna leave him there. Yeah, let's go outside. So, I use net 3 and cabbage for my ENB. It's quite modified. I'm sorry, I think I'm getting like a little bit of a cold. I use net tree. I use cabbage modified a fair bit. Yeah, this is like my river wood, and I have modified a fair bit amount of weathers. I used to have my own weather mod and my own ENB back in the day, like I would say until last year. But oh, my courier.
Looks like that's it. Got to go.
Okay, just start a couple of quests and so on, like Legacy of the Dragonborn. Um, I used to have my own ENB. I used to have my own weather mod, and I think those were fine, but they were just too much work, and it was very difficult to keep up with like the updates and things I needed to change and so on. So I just decided to go to Natch Tree and to Cabbage because it looks very nice, looks very pretty, and I just worked from there. I did. Change a little bit of the weathers. Still, I have like custom weathers and so on, specifically in the March and in the DLC, like in Solstheim. Those are like where I have like my custom weathers. The rest I just adjusted a little bit with Create from Kitsune, if I'm not mistaken. I just adjust slightly the colors, and I adjusted a lot the ENB. I adjusted Cabbage like quite a bit, especially in interiors. I'll say my exteriors, I guess you could say they look a little bit like Lorim, because I believe Lorim also uses net and also uses Cabbage, and I took like some inspiration from their Cabbage, and I also especially for the exteriors, that's like where most of the inspiration came from. The interiors, I did modify them a lot, which I'll show you in a little bit. Stuff might be a little bit choppy. It's because I'm recording at a very high bit rate, and because everything is still loading around me, so it might seem like a little bit choppy. But overall, like in a normal gameplay, it will look pretty smooth. And all right, back. So I am going to walk slowly over to... Ooh, a little frog. I'm going to walk slowly to Whiterun and, talk a little bit of how I built my world, I guess. I tried to make it so there is no combat all the time. Maybe these wolves are going to approach me and try to fight me, but I tried to make it so the world feels a little bit more relaxing when you are just outside. I can increase the music a little bit. Yeah, wait, there. My music, I have completely overhauled the entire OST of the game. I have like custom music per bosses. Alright, back. I had to stop for a second there, but so I was talking about the music in my game, yeah? I have completely overhauled it, and it was a project that took me, God, months, years. I have completely overhauled it. The music in my game is a mixture of pretty much a bunch of different games that I like, music that I love, World of Warcraft and so on. And it's again like in an attempt to make the world just feel relaxing and happy in a classic Elder Scrolls style. Like Elder Scrolls games are very comfy, and people say that's like the problem with From Software games, or like trying to bring From Software games into Skyrim, is that they make the world gloomy. But I don't want that. I want them to maintain like their mystical and pretty aura. So a lot of my music and a lot of my environments and so on are very happy, like high fantasy, how I like it, because I want to have that contrast. I want like the open world to feel like more happy and like more embracing, and I want then my dungeons, right, and like my custom quests and so on to be more dark, to have like that little contrast between them. And the music plays a huge role in that. So this is yeah, like what your experience, like how I would, play the game and so on. I have made it so the animals and so on, like there's far less aggression in the roads. And sorry, it's like a bit choppy because it's loading stuff, like it's an heavy mod at least. But like in normal gameplay it will be fine. Like it's kind of heavy because I'm also recording very high bit rate, but yeah. Yeah, like so we are approaching Whiterun. Swap a little bit to first person as well. I like to play both. I like to have like both of them working well together. Yeah, and you can play perfectly fine with either. Yeah, and it's like my Whiterun. We are very modified, as you can probably guess. Like everything in my mod list, very modified. But all in an attempt to make it unique and make it interesting. Without being just too much, I think like some people kind of make it too much, and you could argue that my mod list is also too much. But it's been. I think it's just fine. I think it's just like the right amount of too much. Here we are. Like the music's changing, the weather is very pretty.
By Eastmere, it's true. A jester, funny suit and all. Just north, by the Lorius farm. Fool had a coffin in a cart with a broken wheel. Like to see him laugh his way out of that.
She's laughing alone. I don't think the other guy found it very funny. Yeah. So this is like more or less how the world feels like, as I said before. And I have spent many years trying to create this atmosphere in particular. Like, all of the little overhauls, the trees, the E&B, the way the colors blend, the music. It's been quite the journey, which is why I'm also proud to show it, right? The LODs as well, like making these LODs with like these specific settings. It wasn't easy. Took a lot of time, a lot of trial and error. But I'm very proud of them. You can see the box there in the 0 axis. I'm gonna make that thing disappear in another update. It can happen. If something is like improperly placed, it's gonna go there. Yeah. Alright, back. So I'm sorry for yet another cut. I'm trying to make this as minimal as possible, but need to do some stuff around the house. So yeah, I had to like do some minimal cuts. But yeah, like as I was saying, I'm trying a lot to make like very welcoming, like very warm and nice. It's not going to be like this everywhere. Every single zone in the map will have its own little environments and quirks, like of course Whiterun. It's the first place, like the middle of the tundra. It's the first place where you visit, so it's obviously I'm going to make it like prettier and nicer, same as down here, because autumn zone. But it's not going to be as welcoming as Morthal, for example, right? Well, I love this song. Yeah, very nice. Like even I keep stopping and like, whoa, I love it. So yeah. Like we're approaching Whiterun. One thing I haven't mentioned, which probably not that important, but I just realized in my game all the potions are also quite simplistic, right? Plus 10 marksman, plus 10 sneak, and so on. I really like it simple like that, as I mentioned. And the restoration potions, they replenish over time. I just added 2 flasks, and I've been, making sure that it's working fine in my game. Still balancing it out. So like, gonna add like potion. I say I got a healing and not only the magic, but like vigor, right? So yeah, been adjusting numbers and so on. I really like that. I also made it so when you die, you respawn, like kind of like souls like, but not too souls like. I might die if I do when I do the dungeon. So yeah, like all of my characters, different overhauls from all over the place. Some of these overhauls I made it myself. Most of them I didn't. Most of them are like made by other people. Yeah, like lots of like little armor changes, like custom clothes, custom appearances, hair, everything. Like make the characters unique and make them like fit the world. I try to make the characters how do I put this, like, pretty, I guess, but not like models. It's not easy to make an overhaul that like works seamless in that regard, where like everything looks like it fits the world. I like my characters to look next gen without looking the stereotypical Skyrim bimbo look. I don't want them to like be supermodels. I want them to be unique without being extreme. And I mean, I think I did a decent job at that. Like, we'll see. I'm gonna show some more characters. You be the judge. It's difficult to make that. It's difficult to make like that specific level of uniqueness. I suppose, like using overalls from different people. Everyone has like their own, visions for the game and ideas of what the character should look like. So yeah, I made them like. I think they fit well. I think they're all quite cool in their unique ways. Some characters are like more pretty or more different or like whatever than others. A lot of my characters are going to have custom armor. Like a lot of them, I have an insane amount of armors, an insane amount of like everything in this game. And I didn't want to make it so, oh yeah, I just need to open the console to get this item. Nothing in my game is unobtainable. Nothing in my game needs to be hacked or cheated in. Everything is obtainable in one way, shape, or another, like one form or another. So a lot of my characters are going to have custom armor, especially if they are followers, because the followers in my game are going to have like their own custom armor. And when they become your followers, they are going to have an extra set on their inventory that you can take. So you can have that armor. Which it's, another little way to... just checking the NPCs. Another little way to distribute stuff in a, rather immersive way. Yeah, like everything in my game is just obtainable,
Good day.
It's also like a major focus of my mod list. It's been to make everything like seamless and just immersive, which I think it's a very overused word, but I try to make it like immersive in that sense, in the fact that you just play the game and you get the whole full experience. Nothing needs to be hacked or cheated in, or you don't need like insane supreme hidden deep knowledge to know, oh yeah, this particular item is in this particular place. Everything should be there, you know, for you to find. And yeah, so like going to Dragon's Reach, just showing a little bit the normal interiors, nothing crazy. Backstep's looking fine. Again, my frames back there were like losing a bit. That's mostly because I'm recording. Yeah, in a normal playthrough, everything is like quite fluid. Another music from World of Warcraft. And also, like, you know, also showing a little bit all of my characters, all of my overhauls, the custom armors, all of that fancy stuff that they have. Yeah.
Come to Dragon's Reach to discuss the ongoing hostilities, like the rest of the great warriors?
Got transmog in my game as well. Like this is like from Lorim. Yeah, I got Lorim just to get their transmogs thing, which is really cool. My game, I would say that like transmogging has been in my mind for many years. My game has merchants and drops, and I have created my own loot table just for that, where I have a lot of like custom appearance items that are not necessarily like strong. They don't sell for much. They are just there for the appearance. And I've done that throughout the years, always with transmog in mind. I was always like, okay, one day I'm going to make transmog, and it's going to be perfect for my game that I'm like making. Like that's why I'm making it this way. And then transmog came out in Lorim, so I got the mod list just to get it. And yeah, so I would say like if you are enjoying my mod list so far, or how it looks and so on, I would say that like Lorim is the mod list to get, because I would say it's like the closest thing, and I took like some ideas from it. They have like a major big community, so you know I'm one man making a mod list versus an entire team making a mod list. Like Big is the face of it, but there's like more people behind it. But yeah, like Lorim is a fantastic mod list in terms of innovation. So yeah, I'm very grateful that they have come up with transmog, because it's been a major goal that I've been, you know, having for many years now, to have in my mod list. It's something that I was planning to do with a friend of mine, and thankfully I don't have to now. Yeah, so I don't know if I actually can get the quest to go get the Dragonstone. I love this animation. It's so stupid. I thought about taking it off, but it's just so stupid when it happens. I'm actually glad it did. And Alted appears to think of the war. What kind of yeah, I need to like talk with the others to get like the quest to go get the Dragonstone, but it's fine. I don't need to have it to get it. I'm gonna make my way there. I'm actually just going to unlock the markers, because I'm not gonna do the whole walk until there, because I already walked a little bit in the world and told you like a little bit about it. It's going to be pretty much the same path. So yeah, I'm here. Let's go there. I want to go to Bleak Falls Barrow, the good old-fashioned classic dungeon that I've done for the 5 billionth time now in my YouTube. But, you know, it's a simple, nice little dungeon. It's not really spoilery or whatever, and it has pretty much everything I would want to showcase, right? There's like enemies in the front, there's Draugr, there's like a boss at the end, like just as everything that you would want out in a dungeon to showcase stuff. So again, like I'm a warrior, I'm gonna approach this like a warrior, I'm gonna go head on and face them. This is Skyrim at the end of the day, so as you can probably guess, it's never going to be as good as like a From Software game, but God knows I tried. And I think it looks like it's neat. I don't think it's like too anime-like, you know. I think it's like... oh. I think it's like fun enough. Oh, I'm running out of stamina. Gonna get a potion of vigor. Oh. Parry stuff. I use Impa Sekiro, but like very modified Impa Sekiro. Wow, I'm like just going sideways. I think it's very modified Impa Sekiro. It's not like base one. I actually need to run back and heal a little bit. See, like you can die quite easily if you're not paying attention. Like it seems like easy, but you see, like as I mentioned before, all of those buffs that you get at the beginning of the game, they are important because so far none of my enemies have been like bosses or legendary enemies. But if you find one of those and they're like facing multiple people, you will die quite fast. You need to be careful, especially if there's like archers, if there's like casters, they will hurt. So I try to make the the combat fun but approachable without being like too anime like too insane, you know, like very DMC. I try to keep the essence of what would combat be if From Software made an Elder Scrolls. Like, well, how would it be? Oh, there's more. Yeah, just gotta kill this guy. Then I'm gonna talk a little bit like more stuff that I just thought about before I... I died. Yeah, okay, so like everything's dead. I can loot them if I want to. I kind of nerfed the amount of money that you can make in the game, like with loot and so on, because I want most of the loot to come from either leveling up your bargain. Alright, back to it. So, apologies. As I was saying, I would say like, yeah, like I was talking about making money. So making money in my game, I wanted to make it by like either exploring a lot of dungeons or selling gems. Those are like still quite worthy. Selling potions, like making potions and selling them, and yeah, like not necessarily by just going, oh, this guy has like a big heavy armor, I can just make a lot of money out of it. See, they drop very little amounts of coin, 3 centimes, 5 centimes. This is also like an attempt to make like money more interesting, like an actual resource. Unlike in base Elder Scrolls games, actually base Bethesda games in general, like Fallout, it's the same. You make just so much money so easily. It becomes a non-issue at all. So if I go to a vendor and I bring all of this, he's going to look at me and he's going to give me 20 septim, you know. So I need to be thoughtful of what I bring with me, and like I need to also leave a lot of junk behind, which is good. I don't want to like be cluttered all the time. So like for example, this one, oh, nice ring. I can bring it, sell for a couple of money, sell the potions. Like yeah, like in that way I made it so like certain items that are not as heavy are more important, and made it so like money comes mostly from either exploration or just being a good merchant. But yeah, sorry for that little tangent. I was going to talk about animations again, because I just thought about this, like, you know, I was like doing this little dodge to the front. And it reminded me that, yeah, like my characters, they each, like my specific ones, like the classes, the races I mentioned before, like the specific ones, they also have like little specific stuff. For example, like, you know, the dodges. This dodge is specific to this character because she's using heavy armor. If she's using light armor, like so, she will have a different dodge, right? Oh, actually, no, it's just specific for her. All right. Maybe it's just if I'm like targeting someone. Might be if I'm just like targeting someone. But yeah, like I can give another example. If I'm a vampire, my dodges will be different. And I think this is like the coolest one, which will be like player.set AV conjuration 50. If I have any magic skill above 50, then my dodges also become faster and magic infused, like so. And I can go further, like phew. Woo, you know, I go further, and because they're like magic infused dodges, and you see that they have like a color. This color is specific to this character because blue is her color. You probably have seen, like when I was showing my characters, they all are like a bit color coded. All of them have like a specific theme to them. My Nord being blue. So her dodge color is, and her magic power, if she used magic, is blue. And the same happens with like my other characters: purple, green, red, and so on. Yeah. So I wanted to go on this little bit of a tangent as well because I think it's like fun. It's back to 0, so I don't have that empowered dodge anymore. I'm just a common pleb again. Yeah, let's go do Bleak Falls Barrow a little bit, and so I can show you like some stuff. There we go. I'm gonna make just a little save here, just in case. And yeah, as I said before, interiors, especially dungeons, it's where I modify the most out of Cabbage. I try to make it like I used to have in my own ENB back in the day. I'm not quite sure like how great it looks for other people, but I think it looks very good to me, so I'm happy. Yeah, like, you know, in the normal dungeon you go, you loot stuff, normal Skyrim stuff. Oh, let me get my gear back. There. Yeah, all of my stuff. Oh yeah, see the guy shouting? That's because he's a Nord and he's just using his passive, or rather his active power, which is, you know, becoming empowered. She is a Nord too, so she's probably going to use it as well. I need to be careful. Some of these enemies, they hurt. Yeah, so as you can see, like my combat, it's like I'm gonna execute the guy. There you go. You can kill them like in two ways, right? You can kill them by draining their stamina back to 0, completely to 0, and executing them. Against bosses, this doesn't work. Against... Oh, she's healing. Like so. So like against common enemies, the execution is set to pretty much always kill them. Against bosses, the execution will remove certain amounts of their HP until they die. So you are meant to execute the boss multiple times, like you would in Sekiro as well. You are supposed, like, you know, in Sekiro bosses have like 2 or 3 execute phases until they completely die. And that's how it works in my mod list as well. Like normal enemies, you execute them once they die. Or you kill them completely, right? They're full HP. Or you make it so their stamina reaches to 0 and then you kill them. This is like good. I would like to like show this. I don't think I have like I haven't leveled up, right? I haven't yet. If I did, I would like unlock champion, and then if I unlock warrior stance, I can break open novice level locks. So like you are meant to like level up a little bit before going to do a dungeon, but it's fine. You can come back later, and you can like break them. Right? I have some lock picks, so I'm gonna open it this way. But as a proper warrior, down the line, you will not like lockpick anything. You are just going to break everything by force. Like normal lockpick stuff, the overhauls that everyone uses nowadays. Got like more lockpicks, which is cool. Got a nice axe. I'm not quite sure if it's even better than the one that I have. I know that I'm supposed to use blunt weapons with my passive, yeah? Oh, it's actually the same. Exactly the same power. Alright. If you are wondering also why are my enemies dying in electricity when I execute them, is because the weapon I'm using has electricity, so it applies that to them. Yeah, it's like you go through a normal dungeon, collect stuff, collect items. Nothing crazy, just a classic Elder Scrolls loop, which I like. An armed combat, like some potions. It's always nice. You get so many potions in a normal Skyrim game, like a normal Skyrim playthrough, and it's like one of the reasons why I try to reduce that by a huge amount. I made them like I try to make them more useful than they usually are. You can see, for example, this potion of the Berserker, right? They deal 8% more damage, but it's for a longest time, right? 600 seconds. So in normal potions in Skyrim, they last for like a minute or less. But in my mod list, they last for a lot longer. Because I am not really a fan of having to just shuck potions. They do give like higher level buffs. My character's looking kind of wonky. That happens in like almost every mod list. If I restart the save, she's going to look normal forever. But that first time you make a character, they are always going to look like kind of weird with the overlays that you have. Yeah, so potions in Skyrim usually they have like strong buffs, like 20% more unarmed damage for a minute. But I am really not a fan of that. I would rather use them before combat, and because my combat sometimes can last a while, especially before bosses. If I'm going to fight a boss, I'm going to be there for a while, okay, until I even master the fight itself and have the stats for it. If I'm like under level and so on, it's going to be like a difficult fight. Or rather under geared, because I'm still adjusting, but every boss in my game is meant to be my level. My enemies are supposed to have, like normal enemies are supposed to be within a certain range, like high or above, like +5 levels or -5 levels than you. Like everything is supposed to like level up with you. I prefer it that way. Some people prefer it like to be completely de-leveled. I prefer leveled purely for the freedom of choice. So I want to think, I want to go explore Mortal and do Mortal dungeons, and I want everything there to just match my character. I don't want to go through a streamlined process every time I make a game where, I need to go to Ember Shard Mine, gain some XP here, and then I need to go to Whiterun and sell some stuff to gain XP there, and then I need to, so that's why everything in my game is like leveled. It also works much better for the combat. Again, I use Impa, and Impa kind of works well if everything is around your level. It doesn't work well at all if things are very under-leveled or very over-leveled. Like, it just doesn't really work well, which is fine by me, because it works well with the design philosophy of my game. Yeah, so that's it. Like my potions, they give lesser quantity, like lesser buffs, right? Only, I don't know, where was the one I was saying? Like Berserker, they only give 8% instead of like the usual, I don't know, I think it's like 15 or 20%. But they last a lot longer, and they can stack. That's something I really, really like from Morrowind, and I think it's very broken, but I also think it's very fun. It's the ability to just take as many potions as you want and become the legendary god of mankind or elvenkind, and just I think that's like very funny to be able to do that. It's not something I would do all the time, but I think it's the option. It's there because it's fun. So I can just take as many potions as I want. So like if I take like 3 of these, I'm going to have like a gigantic buff for those 600 seconds. So yeah, like that's my little potion overhaul as well. A little bit of like moving through here. Yeah. Oh, you probably recognize this song. This is from Elden Ring. Yeah. Like, as I said, I love From Software. Like I have a lot of songs from a lot of OST from the game in specific places. I think the Lanedale song, which is the one playing, fits well in dungeons. Gives like that mysterious aura. I like it. I got a little bit of first-person combat as well. As I said, I want to be able to swap between both. See, it works well. We got the animations, everything. I'll say it's like not as fluid as third person, but you can parry. You can do everything. The only thing you unfortunately cannot do in first person, and that's something. It's this, like you cannot execute them, see? You cannot execute them like you can in third person, which is a shame. I am still trying to come up with like a way to... Oh shit, I need to be careful. These casters, they hurt. Look at my HP. You really need to focus casters. I have made it so they don't have like an insane amount of magicka. I need to drink up. Nice. Like they really hurt. Look at that. You need to be careful. Like you might think that like the combat is easy, and then one like stronger enemy is going to show up and is going to like give you major headaches. You need to be careful. I have made like my casters. Usually people really don't like them, which is fair. I have made it so they deal like good amount of damage, but they don't have that much mana. You need to like they stand back. They're like being annoying, but they are not being annoying forever. So they run out of mana relatively fast, and then it forces them to just grab their daggers or whatever weapons they have and just go melee. So it's like they are still a threat, but they are not like impossible or very very difficult or very easy to deal with, right? My dungeons are overhauled. As you can see, it's like a section that normally doesn't exist. Also done by a great modder that also makes like a whole bunch of like dungeon changes. I'm very bad with names. I'm sorry. I don't know the name of the person that made. Like after 5 years, you start to mix everything together and lose count. But hopefully, someone, if you like find for dungeon overhauls, you can find it. Yeah, maybe if I click on it falls bare, it's all in the num. So yeah, I don't know who made it. Well, this is like also good, like torch, so you can see a little bit the difference that light makes in my game. Oh, gonna favorite this one, yeah. Like I'm gonna open. Oh yeah, sorry, I clicked the button to put my hoodie on and the button to light up around me. Remove my hoodie. This is my favorites. I'm sorry, I'm mixing up a little bit the keybinds. I've been playing a lot of different games lately, so... open my favorites. This is how a torch looks. Torches are going to give more light than my little belt light that I have, which is infinite. So... Now this one is like a little bit more close. I like, the option for both. Yeah. Let's continue with the dungeon. I like music is playing, still kind of creepy, yeah. I think it fits well with the dungeon theme. As I said before, when I was going to Whiterun, um, I like this little dichotomy, this little separation between the outside and inside. Like inside is meant to be like creepy, you know, like all of these noises and like all of this ambient music being like, shit, I'm in danger. And I like the. Oh, actually, since I already used like the sword, let's use the battle axe now. And the interior to be like creepy, the outside to be very, very soothing and relaxing. It's like when you play Resident Evil, right? You like the since like the Requiem came out, it's like a good comparison. Many people have played it, where if you are playing, you are like killing zombies and so on. It's like there's like this creepy environment, right? Especially if you are playing the survival ones like 7, 8, and with Grace in Requiem. Like you have like these moments that you are like more stressed out, right? You are supposed to be, oh shit, what's around the corner? It's like it's waiting for me and so on. But then you get to the safe zone, and the safe zone has like this nice music, and it makes you feel like relaxed. You know, there's like these moments of relaxation that separate you from the stress, and that's what my exteriors are like trying to be, in contrast with my interiors. Ooh, they're like going to be fighting those Draugrs there. Let's swap to For Honor moveset a little bit here. Yeah, decapitation. Ooh, I'm gonna let them kill each other for a while. Yeah, I when it comes to my combat, as I said before, you can die relatively easy, but I know some people like to make their combat like extremely hard. Like I've seen people struggle with killing a single skeleton, but and I think that's like the major issue that a lot of people have. It's like balancing a combat and trying to make it Souls-like, but they make it Souls-like and they make it very difficult. For me, I really try to make it difficult, but not impossible, so to speak. Like, you know, against a single enemy, if you're like same level and so on, there's like high chances that you are going to kill them. Like, see, like. Because I would say a lot of people tend to make their... Okay, lots of people, they tend to make their combat like it's very difficult to fight a single enemy. Like you are only fighting one enemy at a time. But really, that's not how Elder Scrolls works, right? That's not really how Elder Scrolls goes. In fact, actually, since I'm doing a dungeon, I'm like, I have food. I'm going to eat a little rabbit stew. Nice. So for the next, I don't know, a minute or so, 10 minutes or so, actually, right? Stew, rabbit stew. 20 minutes. For the next 30 minutes, I'm gonna regen more health, which is very nice in combat as a warrior. Like again, I have given a lot of methods and ways to make your character strong. Elder Scrolls, like I like the combat and all of that, but as I was saying, I really try to make the combat fun and engaging without making it very, like, extremely difficult. You still need to think about your actions. You still need to fight stuff in a decent way, I guess. You need to block attacks. Deflect, you need to, like, kill them in a decent order, right? You kind of want to go against the casters first. You need to really pay attention to your stats, but you don't need to be afraid all the time. Like you don't need to like have insane preparation before fighting an enemy. I mentioned Lorim before, and that this is not a problem with Lorim. This is a problem with the Requiem itself. Requiem feels a bit like that. Requiem feels like you need to do a spreadsheet of things to get strong so you can fight stuff, right? And I don't really, because if you go unprepared into a fight, you are going to be kinda weak, and you are most likely going to die, even if it's against a single enemy. And I don't really want that for my mod list. Like, I want the combat and everything to feel fluid. I don't want it to feel frustrating, which is, as I was saying before, many mod lists have like issues with making this particular thing where combat is engaging but it's also not frustrating. I am aware that this is like an Elder Scrolls game, and it's not a From Software game. It's not like it will never be a From Software game. I'm just, trying to give my own spin on the combat while taking From Software as like inspiration. But it's not something I want to recreate. It's something I want to take inspiration from. And I don't want the game to be like extremely frustrating. I want it to like be fluid and fun. So yeah, like I probably have yapped about this far longer than a normal person would. But I would say the combat is like one of the biggest things I focused on throughout the years when making my mod list. And there. So I like to talk about it. It's something that I really, really see people struggle. I have seen everything over the years. And also, I apologize that I'm stopping a lot. I like to stop to properly think about what I'm going to say. I am really bad at multitasking. But yeah, this has been like something that I see people struggle a lot throughout the years, which is the combat. It's either feels like very frustrating or rather very punishing, right? Like a single enemy will kill you, which can also happen in my game, but that's like mostly reserved for bosses. Like for enemies that you are almost certainly going to be fighting one-on-one, those are like meant to be like harder, and they are meant to be like the peak of combat in my game. But everything else in between is just stuff for you to have fun with. It's not really a major threat, which is something I see a lot. It's like people having like major threats everywhere in their game. It becomes slightly frustrating after a while, right? You need... am I okay? The rats didn't want to fight. Okay. You need to take into consideration that you are going to fight a lot in these games. So it's not like Elder Scrolls is not something that it's not like a single player streamlined. You start A and you end in B type of game, right? It's open world exploration, and we're going to be fighting a lot, and so you need to take that into consideration when making your combat. That you want it to be like fun, but you don't want it to be like insanely punishing. All right, was a... Okay. There's a Draugr vibing here. Be careful, these guys, they hurt, and there. I've also seen people do like insane Devil May Cry style of combat, where stuff just feels like very easy, like your character just kills everything like butter, which again, I think it's like perfectly fine. Like everything that I'm mentioning, I'm like putting it as if it's like a negative, like when people make combat very punishing and so on. I think all of that, it's perfectly fine if you like it, right? Like that's what a mod list is, like making it fun for you. But I'm mentioning my train of thought and like my thought process behind the way that I make my mod list, like my design philosophies behind it. And going over again like the Devil May Cry analogy of like combat being like that, I think just too easy, and it doesn't really fit Elder Scrolls in my opinion, which again it's fine if you like it, but yeah, like that's like the other extreme. I need to be careful. I'm actually I think I'm gonna wait. Spiders, it's like going to be painful. They hurt, and I still have like the buff. Let me take a potion of Berserker. Oh, what happened with my axe? Whoa! I have never seen this one happen. That's funny. Whoa. Classic Skyrim. Something I haven't seen in over 10,000 hours making my mod list. Fortify damage resist a little bit. Let's hope this is enough to fight it. I think it's when I drink potions using this specific axe. That's very interesting. Actually, a bug I've never seen before. Huh. Okay, they don't have much mana, thankfully. See, like, because I took all of those... What? Because I took, like, all of those buffs, I'm, like, far stronger. And I regen stuff. Yeah, I was able to kill it. Like, quite easily. With just a little bit of preparation. A couple of potions. Damage resist. And I'm vibing. If I touch these eggs, I'm going to spawn like 5 billion enemies, right? Yeah. Do I have any spell that I could use on them? I have flames. I'm not really a caster, but I'm already out of mana because of the... Oh, I mean, I do have mana pots, so it's not like a big deal, right? I can... I think it's super funny that, like, I made my character such a warrior that, like, her spells are, like, non-existent. It's very interesting. If I make, like, a pure caster, it's almost the opposite, right? I will do, like, negative melee damage, but my spells I'm going to have, like, a lot of mana. Back to the sword, just because I really like swords. What? Holy shit, there's more. Well, that guy's going to die anyway, so... As you can probably guess, my enemies also have like custom animations, like even Draugr and skeletons and all of that jazz. I didn't... Like, all of their animations are very basic, but they are there so you can... I think it fits well in... Well, I think it's like made to fit well with the world. Like nothing too insane, nothing crazy. I do have like some crazy animations specific for certain weapons and for certain bosses, but nothing insane for my enemies. Because I want them. Well, I want them to like have like recognizable attack patterns that you can react to. And have fun with. I also want to point out that like my combat feels much better like when you are fighting stuff, because I have made a mod not a mod list. I have made like when building my character, I have made it so everything works seamless. Like I made like a full build that is meant to play off each other. Like, right, I pick a Nord, which is a warrior character. I pick the extra melee, heavy armor. I picked like the warrior stones. Like I made a full build purely to be a warrior. and that's why when I'm fighting, it feels like more fluid and it feels nice. If I made a character that was like very hybrid, very jack of all trades ish, without like its own very singular focused identity, my combat would be much harder. There's also the fact that like I've eaten the food that I had. Like when you eat these types of foods, you will be a lot stronger. Like food in my game, it's something that you can completely ignore. But if you take the time to gather the ingredients and cook, then you are going to reap the rewards. You are going to feel a lot stronger during combat, which is, the main goal of having these types of systems. Because I believe that, like in Skyrim, like in Elder Scrolls games, Bethesda games in general, all of these buffs are very negligible, like the food and the potions and so on. They can be very negligible. You can ignore them unless you are playing in expert. Whoa, there's lots of enemies. Yeah, I need to adjust my UI a little bit. I know there's like I know there's like some overlap down there. You can see like my health regen is crazy. It's like really high, and so I can like stay in the fight without having to run away and drink too much. Only like in important situations, because that's like important for a warrior to be able to stay in the fight. I have. There you go, and that's all because I have like the food buff, which gives me more regen. I have the warrior stone, which also gives me more health regen. And I believe even like by being a Nord, Nordic, okay, being a Nord, my stamina regens faster. So like you can see with all of those buffs, my stamina is like regening passively during combat at like a very decent rate. So it's like again to make it so like combat feels more fluid. I only need to like run away and drink up if I'm like in a pinch, if like stuff is there's like a caster that's like dealing a ton of damage like before. I'm probably going to die to this. I'm really awful at doing this one. Well, only one. I can stop it, right? Yeah. Here we go again. What? Whoa. I really like the Bloodborne executions. They were like not the executions itself, but the mod that makes it work well with Impa Sekiro. They were made by Olo Neat on Nexus, and he is a super kind person. Like they made this mod, and I remember telling them that like I love this. Oh god, see, like casters are the devil. Need to be careful with she's like this, not really dealing me damage to my HP, but she's fucking destroying my stamina, which is technically my second HP bar, and I need to be careful. So like that caster is my priority. It's not only a caster, but it's a legendary caster. She's going to have like a lot of mana It's going to be like very annoying. Oh, look at that, dude. See, as I said before, my combat can be quite stressful, I guess, like deadly. They're going to die, right? Point. Nice. All according to the Keikaku. And now I can fight her one by one, one on one. Oh, she cast something to heal herself back up, but I broke her stamina, so... Nice, she dropped like a legendary item. I can take this and I can disenchant it, right? Your magic regen is increased by 20%. Doesn't matter for me, but yeah, like legendaries... legendary enemies are going to give you like headaches, and that's how I want it. I want the legendary ones to be like the threat. I want the bosses to be the threat, and everything else to just be a nice combat experience in between, but not like insane. Did they actually enable this again? Whoa. As I was saying before, actually, so little things in dungeons. I love this type of stuff. Hollow Knight, very cool person. They made it so this like Sekiro and executions work well together. I adjusted it just slightly for my game, like in values and so on. But they were awesome. They went like, you know, oh, I made this update just because you were like asking it, and because I was like commenting and testing a lot on the page, and as I told them, this works like beautifully for my combat, the way that they set it up. And yeah, like big shout out to them. I'm going to freaking die if I'm not like careful. Oh, I think I'm going to die actually. You can see that like some of my combat, it's like Elden Ring combat music, but not all. I also have like combat music from other places, other mods. I'm fairly certain I have some stuff from Lorcan and yeah, other music mods out there. Ooh, I was so close to dying over there. Oh my god, so close. Like, as you can see, as I said before, my combat, it's like it's you can die if you are not careful. It's like punishing in a non-frustrating way to me. It's difficult but not impossible sometimes, but also sometimes as well it's fair. It's not too much. To be careful against warriors. Casters are the worst, but especially frost magic casters. Frost magic casters are scary because they take away my way to deal damage and to survive. They take away my stamina, which is my second health bar technically. Right here, like I'm swapping between different stances just to show up, like just to show how it works. See, I swapped between my own little moveset that I usually use and For Honor and Ming Ming. So like, yeah, I try to make like seamless in between those. And there's like combos you can make to make it like more interesting. Am I going to die by jumping from here? Oh, I'm not. I can just kind of run away from this one. Like, bye bye. Because I know that there is a little passageway here. I don't think they can get through. They're not clever enough. Let me go back to the axe now again. On slightly higher level, but still within the range that it's like fair to fight. Like, holy shit! It's so weird though this is happening with axes as well. Like, why is it that me drinking potions, it's like making my axe have like improper textures? Hopefully it's not like a major deal. Like, so far it's been fine. I guess it's not like crashing my game or anything. Oh god, I'm almost dead as well. Like, archers are very problematic. I made it so like arrows in my game, they deal like a decent amount of damage. To offset the fact that if you are not like like a ranged character, you can still deal a decent amount of damage, but you know, you need to wait a lot to draw a bow. Like, I think I have one, right? So like, this character is not a ranged character, right? So look, see how long it's taking for me to draw a bow. If I made a specific character to draw a bow, to play with a bow, she will draw almost instantly, like boom, super fast. But because this character is not an archer, she is like drawing it very slowly. But the arrow that she shoots is going to do like a decent amount of damage. So like, being an archer in my game, it's like the arrows will always deal good damage. But it's just how fast you can shoot that like makes like that gigantic difference between an actual archer and a non-archer. So that's why I like archers in my game are like can be scary because they can deal like a huge amount of damage if you're not careful. Wow, it counts like I'm still in combat because of... Oh, there he is. Now I swap to my normal combat and whoop, my normal moveset. I do a dodge attack. So like, see, this is like comes with like knowing how the animations work and like knowing your character. And this is just for like a melee character. I also have it for like, you know, close range, like archers have their own movesets as well. Casters, they don't have their own movesets, but they have like their own interesting ways to play. And you know, their own interesting spells. I don't have like insane spell overhauls. Mostly I use Lost Grimoire and a couple of other spells, but they are just enough for me to like be very happy with spell slinging in my game. Oh, yeah. Oh no, that guy is a Frostcaster. See, like the legendary one was doing a lot more stamina damage. Ooh, I need to be very careful here. I actually... Wait, okay. Going to heal myself. Like so. So. Let us try. I don't know if this works, but I hope it does. I also made them not extremely accurate with their spells. Okay, some fire on them. Back to the weapons. I'm going to change to my third stance, which is like more AoE heavy. Oh man. This is why you need to be careful when balancing your game for combat, because you are going to have like moments like this where you will have a stronger group of enemies by default in the game, and if you make your combat too punishing, then you are going to be in for like a bad time. There we go. Switching to the AoE stance was actually nice because it managed like do more damage overall. Oh shit, my voice. I managed to deal a little bit more damage overall to everyone involved there. Now I can go back to any other moveset, like more single player, single damage focused. Ooh, whoa. I almost ran out of everything. And there is still one down there. Going to the For Honor moveset. There. Nice. Ooh, I have been, like, this entire dungeon, I've been going through, like, some constant near-death experiences, but that's exactly what I want out of the game, right? I want it to, like, be, as I said, like, engaging and still challenging without being overwhelming. I actually don't remember what's the... Let's go Golden Claw. Bear Moth Howl. Very neat. Yeah, so I have been saving my ultimate power for the boss fight that's ahead. I'm a little afraid of how strong he is. We'll see if I need to use my power or not. Like, my character's daily power, it's basically... oh no, there's also a legendary one. Ooh, I might die. Need to run away. They are basically a get out of jail free card almost. Because they are very strong powers, because you know you can only use them once a day, and I wanted them to be like unique and give some like personality to my characters, right? They're all unique per character. I can show them to you after I'm done with this dungeon. I think I'm going to like swap between them if the game allows me, because God knows Skyrim is a buggy game no matter how many fixes you put on it, and there is a very high chance that me swapping... Oh shit, I cannot drink anymore. Let me eat some more. Increase my health regen. Actually, isn't one of my shouts literally for that? Rallying cry? Yeah. Let's use the rallying shout right now. My weapon is also running out of, like it also ran out of charge. I can pay, oh my god, they hurt. I can pay a smith, or in this case, an enchanter like Farengar, to charge my weapon. Which goes in hand with what I said before. With what I said, Iron Shield of the Minor Mirror. Alright. Goes in hand with what I said before when it comes to the economy in my game. Like being able to pay for services and like have another way to spend money. I think it's very, very nice to have that. Having like multiple ways to make like money actually be worth something. Oh, I cannot heal yet. It's fine. Yeah, as I was saying, like Skyrim's a very buggy game, so hopefully I'll be able to swap between my characters and actually show a little bit of their powers without the game just crapping out and dying, because it's very possible if you open like a race menu during normal gameplay and you swap between different classes, there's a high chance the game is just going to tell you no. It's like a red enemy, which, yeah, like it's a boss. Need to be careful. They hurt if they're like red. Ooh, I didn't want to use the rallying cry. I wanted to use the Mama's Rage. So I can deal more damage. If I let him like land attacks on me, it's going to be very painful. But that's why I've been saving my daily power just so I can fight an actual boss. See, if I was doing this fight without my power, it would have been a lot harder. Trust me. Yeah. At the end of the dungeon, I'm going to like get a chest, and honestly, I think the key to this chest, it's like at the beginning of the dungeon. I am fairly certain the key is nowhere near, if I believe. It's been a while, but yeah, I think the key... Whoa, I can see my eyes. The key to the dungeon is like at the entrance. Potion of Strength, Speed Mult, nice. So I'm just going to shit a little bit here and unlock it. So like dungeons, they all have like boss chests, and as I said before, I created my own loot table for pretty much everything in the game. And boss chests are like the big one, right? You will get an assortment of goods at the end of the dungeon, and that goes for like, you probably might know this, like fantasy series, right? Some armors from them, I don't think they're like too skimpy. I think they're like pretty fine. Some of them I kind of modify them to not be that. So yeah, you get like a bunch of weapons, some enchanted weapons. You always get recipes to craft your own armors. That's another way to like have armors in my game. It's and weapons and so on, just by dropping recipes. Again, many of these armors, they are just given like, oh, just use the console to get them. I don't like that. So I've created a huge recipe plugin to let me craft them. Like they have, I don't know, like from ore, like from iron, ebony, whatever, copper, you know, like they have like the proper recipes, and you drop the books in the dungeons. Like I'm gonna reset the inventory. And by doing so, you can also like unlock transmogger, you know, a new set. Right, katanas, different shields, wherever, right? Like a Valkyrie helmet, like different assortments of many different like places, like recipes for katanas. I'm gonna reset again. Daedric armor modification guide. This probably it's one so you can make it so your Daedric armor has different elements, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, like a lot of stuff, like Molech's Thorn, you know, like cool weapons that you can sell or you can have like for collection. Like the chest at the end, it's like the big reward, and I try to make it so it always like has like an assortment of stuff that I think I'll find cool, that I can craft, like stuff for Legacy of the Dragonborn. Some more fantasy series, more weapons. Yeah, like a whole bunch of like stuff, like lots of like mods, like armor mods and so on are in here. You know, like yeah, stuff from Witchy, like own backpacks. Save, I'm playing like a druid like character, and I get this, I will be like thrilled, right, to drop like this little cute backpack. Yeah, like I made like, so there are drops and styles and appearances and books and recipes for like every archetype of character that I can come up with. Yeah. Whoa, this one is actually a really good one. Absorb 30% of incoming spells. This one is like, I dropped this on an actual playthrough in my word. I'm gonna be super happy. Like, whoa, absorb 20% spells would have been great. And I can use this. I have a limit of 4 rings. And yeah. So, as I promised, I'm gonna show a little bit of like the spells of my other characters, right? Show raise menu. Hello, and we are back to the entrance because I didn't save. And as I said, swapping characters in race menu crashed the game in classic Skyrim fashion. Nothing wrong with the mod list as far as I know. More so Skyrim itself, like changing races and so on mid-game, it's not a good idea. It might crash again, we'll see. Not this time, it seems. So, I'm gonna show the carrot. I'm gonna show like their powers real quick, like as I said. Yeah, she can fly. That's like one of her passive powers. Her big power is a Malefic Rapture, which I'm gonna use against the enemies in front of me.
Time to end this little game.
As you can see, I enter my... I'm gonna go in God mode just so I can show it again. I stop time. I guess you could say that this one is like a little bit more Devil May Cry-ish type of power. It might seem weak, but this power actually levels up with my character, and the more Magicka I have, the stronger this power becomes, up until like 500 Magicka or so. If once it's like at 500 Magicka, then I'm going to be one-shotting every common enemy and dealing a lot of damage to bosses. And yeah, she's supposed to be like a spell sword character, like sword in one hand, spells in the other, and go for it. It's like trying to make her be more like a demon hunter, right? Where, you know, they use also like an assortment of spells and fell magic and melee damage. So yeah. I have since changed her a little bit, I believe. Oh yeah, alright. She's not supposed to be like this. She's supposed to be like this. At any rate, going back to the default, then you have not the Bosmer, you have my Breton. Let's see if the game doesn't crash again. It didn't. Alright, so my Breton, she is a Spider-Mancer, as I said before. She is supposed to have a spell that I don't have it right now the way that I scripted it. It's only when you create the character for the first time. When you create her, she is supposed... Let me just lower the music a little bit. When you create the character for the first time, she is like supposed to have a spell given to her that lets her summon spiders. Let me see if I can find it. Conjure the Brood Mother. There you go. Player.add spell. There you go. So this is the spell she's supposed to receive when you create her at the start of the game. Here in Conjuration, conjure the Brood Mother. And this spell creates a spider mummy that will spawn little spiderlings. They all die with one hit. And they die over time. See? Like slowly over time they will die. But yeah, like this is like a major thing. It's like being a conjurer. And that's like her main theme. You can perfectly play her without conjuring any spiders ever, without being like a conjurer. You can play her as a damage dealer type, like direct damage dealer, you know, like a elementalist. She's the pure caster of the bunch, so you can play her many different ways. I just thought that making her a Spider-Mancer was cool and unique. It's usually in like necromancers and so on. You don't really see other types of summons. It's either animals, which in this case it's an animal, but it's usually like more common types of animals like a druid, or undead. I wanted to make something a little bit more unique, something that like blends both. Spiders are like very creepy and they're also like animals, so I thought it was cool to like make her a Spider-Mancer that you know, she's like the living embodiment of Mephala. That's just her spell, though. Her actual unique power is Awaken the Spider Queen. When I use this, I am going to summon a special spider that drains magicka from my enemies. And it will let me spawn a huge amount of spiders, like a little army. So this little spider is going to draw mana out of the enemies, and I summon a bunch of like brood mothers. And I am able to summon a bunch of spiders. Like so. I create my own little army. These brood mothers, I don't know if you noticed, they're like more purplish to match the color theme of my main my character. Yeah. Very creepy, very cool. People with arachnophobia, I'm sorry for creating this abomination. Yeah. Let's see, next one. Oh, actually, yeah, and you know, all of them have like their own little powers, like, you know, spell warding and so on. Dragon skin, they all have like their own little things per race that work as like just passives. Dunmer. She is my ranger, my archer. Do I have a bow? I don't. Let me get one. Get like something. Elven bow. There we go. She's my archer. She uses what you have probably seen. Yeah, like the smooth bows animations. I have modified them a little bit. I have changed a little bit how they work, and only her and my Bosmer are able to use these animations. And my Bosmer uses normal arrows. This character also uses normal arrows, but she can craft her own. She has like her own little power, arcane arsenal, right, to let me forge arrows. And she also has a couple of passives. Engineered magic, which enchanted and bound weapons are stronger. So I can just, she's meant to be a little bit of a conjurer archer. So like I can conjure my own bow and arrows, craft them, and deal damage with them. And her very own passive, or rather her very own power, it's, as I mentioned before, it's you create a soul storm that will drain the soul of like anyone in it. And let me spawn like an enemy. And let me remove his AI because it doesn't really matter much for now. I'm gonna cast this. It's going to draw, like drain like their soul. They're like taking damage just by standing in the soul storm. After this is over, I gain 10 special arrows. These arrows, if they kill my enemies, they will cast soul drain. And if I have a gem, I'm going to get like their soul. I'm going to remove God mode, so wait. There. I get 10 of those. After I use those 10 soul draining arrows, I get an infinite amount of paralyzing arrows. Like, you know, Sylvanas does. Like the paralyzing arrows. You see, like, you see the chains? I'm going to, like, see if I can stop it in time to shoot. Okay, there you go, TFC 1. If you see, like, I'm literally shooting chains. And these chains eventually will paralyze them. Oh, there you go, see? They are paralyzed, both of them. I have, like, disabled the AI. But if they are like in normal combat, they would get paralyzed. Like so. See, they're paralyzed. They literally cannot do anything. They're just paralyzed. And that's their power. Eventually, the spell will end after a while. And the arrows that you get that like paralyzed, they will end. And you will go back to normal arrows. So like I'm going to spend time. See, no longer have like the insane amount of arrows. Now I'm just using my, oh, I actually don't have any more. I go back to my normal arrows. So that's her power. All of this took me so long to make. I'm like very happy to showcase them. Final one, and let's hope again that this doesn't crash when I swap between them. My Black Paw. And you see, like, while she's walking in dungeons, custom animations. Yeah, like lots of like custom stuff. If I'm sprinting with her, she runs on all fours. I try to make her like more, you know, cat-like and so on. Like, I have like different animations. Like if I have like an enemy bandit, remove their AI just for showcase purposes. If I dodge, see, she's like more agile. She has like more... actually, let me give God mode just for the stamina. You know, like these types of dodges, like no other character has them. Only her can do like, woo, like all of these. Once I try to, you know, give them like uniqueness in their powers, but also their appearance, but also their own animations, like the way that, you know, you play them and the way that they feel. Okay, her power, very cool in my opinion. Like she has like actually quite a few users to detect living end, and that's like Khajiit also have that night eye. Also Khajiit like Cloak of Shadows, which is like her actual unique power. Makes me completely invisible. My enemies will not attack me, no matter what. I am completely invisible and I make zero sound. And I summon copies of myself. So let me show you. I go back. My copies just just fell down because of the explosion. That normally doesn't happen, but I think that's pretty funny. I disabled the AI as well, so they are not fighting. And you see, I made like 2 copies of me. My copies, and I'm completely invisible. So my copies will fight if I like enable AI. Or rather, they are not even meant to like be threats. They are just meant to be distractions. Like they die super easy. Look, she's going to take 1 arrow. She's almost dead. There they are. They woke up. They woke up. But yeah, they are meant to be like distractions for the most part. They don't really, like in a big group, they are not really going to be all that crazy. See, that one died, went invisible. Oh, I mean, rather disappeared. Another one disappeared, and now she's looking for me. But I am completely invisible. See, she has no idea where I am because I'm like completely invisible. I attack. I show up while I attack. See, now they know where I am. I occasionally summon an extra copy of me. So I can disappear again, right? The idea is that I can like keep attacking. See, now she doesn't know where I am again. I think it's very cool. Personally, I might be biased because I made these ones. But yeah, that's her power, and that's the power of all of my characters. Like that's like a little showcase of all of them. Last but not least, I think I would like to show you something that I've made. I already made a video about it, so it's like nothing new, I guess. But I guess just to showcase a little bit how combat would be. This is the thing that I still need to improve a lot. Like I still need to like fix. It's the last thing actually that I need to like fix is numbers, damage numbers, health numbers, and scaling. So I only need to adjust numbers left in my mod list before I see that like it's pretty much over, completed. Then after that, just like bug fixing here and there if I find something that's like game breaking. But it's like boss combat, the last thing that I would like to like show. So let's see if it's Empyrean Helm or Empyrean Realm. Yeah, it is. So like my game has a very good amount of bosses. Most of them I created them. Some of them are like by quest mods and so on. Some of them are like base game. This is like Millennia from Elden Ring. You know, I love the fight. And I believe Black made the moveset, so I figured I should add it to the game. And yeah, I made like we created a fight. Me and a friend of mine, we created a fight. I made like this little arena for her. Like my mod list is going to have this in many places where there's like these little treats for myself that are just scattered around the world. Like in order to access this fight, you need to find a corpse that has her helmet. And when you approach the corpse, it's like it tells you something along the lines of traveling to the past. So you go to the past to fight her. And like in most of my boss fights are like that. The ones that we have made, they are like hidden, and they're like little things that they are not quests. They are not like objectives. They are not necessary for anything. They are just there as like special treats. I'm not going to fight her like throughout the entire thing because, as I said before, I really need to adjust numbers. Some of my bosses are not leveled. Malene is one of them. Malene is always level 80, no matter what. I could make her scaling, but I think making her like a very difficult enemy that you need to level up to fight is like cool. I'm never going to like be able to fight her with just like my gear and so on from like a starter character. I need to be level 80 and like be strong to fight her. But yeah, I need to adjust some stuff in the numbers. I'm just going to like do the kill command. When she dies, she disappears. Yeah, like my friend scripted her to say that when she dies, scripted her to disappear, just like in the game. And when she dies, right, if you go over here to the chest behind, there's like a little share from the game. And the little chest is going to have like all the rewards, like for her items, for her movesets and so on. Yeah, that's like the last thing I wanted to like show just to finish off the video. I think this is like a good showcase of pretty much like the biggest things I have like worked on, like the music, the environment, the combat, the animations, the characters, the spells, the character appearances. Maybe there's like a couple of things I could add. Like for example, remember when I said that like my characters had, my companions had like unique appearances, or rather unique gear, right? Like I can summon Lydia. Like you can see like Lydia has like her own fourth unknown, if I'm not mistaken, armor. And if I speak with her, if she becomes my companion, I can have her armor as well, like the one she has. And just like her, there's like many others. Is her name Ilya? She is. It's like from a Patreon armor, but she's also a follower, right? And you can get like her armor. Yeah, I have like armors from many different franchises and games and Patreons and whatever, scattered across my entire game. They're like blended into the world, mostly seamless, so I can, you know, gather them as I play. There's like many little things. To finish off the video, I guess I could. There's like a little quest I have in my game where the end reward will be the ring of the spectral steed. Spectral steed whistle. And here, yeah, summons the spectral steed. And basically, this is like a good example of what I like, what I'm saying about like having little treats for me. This is from a little encounter you get in my game that will reward you the ring of the spectral steed. And you'll be able to summon Torrent like you can in Elden Ring. I have made the summoning, like the animation to summon him. My friend scripted the way that he works, you know, like he shows up and you mount him and so on. So he works just like in Elden Ring. And then you remove the ring and you leave the torrent. And this is like what I mean by like little special treats and like things that have taken me 5 years now to make this mod list. It's why it's like a huge passion project. It's so I could fill the game with little things like that. Little boss fights, things from games that I love, music from World of Warcraft, music from software, like armors from, you know, many different games and high fantasy games that I really like. And yeah, that's why I decided to make like this video, which by now it's probably gigantic. It's just so I could showcase all the work and all the love that I've been pouring into my mod list. It's been way over 10,000 10,000 hours. Definitely. It's been an insane wild ride. I've been having it's been very very fun and very very frustrating at times. Like a little bit of both. But I would say this mod list as a game designer has been my magnum opus, like my personal little magnum opus. It's been a collection of ideas and design philosophies that I have, and everything that I enjoy in games, poured into one specific thing. That's why I'm also making this. Like, I want to like showcase all of that. And while I'm like saying this, I can show you a little bit of my zones if the game doesn't crash, because like again, the game doesn't really particularly enjoy you changing race and teleporting around. But all of this, it's been a wild, wild, wild ride. I never imagined it would ever get, to this level when I started. At a certain point, I did. At a certain point, I was like, okay, I know what I want out of my game, and it's going to be very difficult to reach that point, but I think it will be worth it. And I would say it is worth it. I am like, I love it, right? I love this mod list. I loved all the effort I've poured into it. Let me go into a nice little weather. There you go. Yeah, so like I'm just finishing off the video by showing like my different zones, my grass and the trees, like the flora and so on, like the lords, the environment. Because I just realized I didn't really show much of that, so I'm doing it now to close off the video. And damn, I don't even know what to say. It's been such a wild ride so far, and now I really believe I'm near the end. I have overhauled everything I wanted to. I have added everything that I wanted to. I have like a couple of little things in my to-do list that I've been, kind of putting off and playing other games and having fun with my friends and just enjoying actually gaming instead of just making the mod list, because I did neglect like a lot of like things I could have done, like a lot of like time for me, time for my friends. By oh, go back today. Oh God, no. There you go. And gonna give myself some gold. So yeah, like a lot of like time I kind of neglected to work on my mod list. So now I'm like gaining it back. So I've been like putting off like a little bit of work on my mod list in that sense. I have just like small little details I need to iron out. I've been waiting for Viken to finish Glenmoril. So until he does that, I'm not like in a rush, because I want to add the finished version of Glenmoril to my mod list. Because I already have all the others. Hello, Fred. And while I'm waiting for that, I've been like just having fun, just like having fun, like playing other stuff. Yeah, let me show you a little bit more. What else is there to show? The rich. it's difficult to put into words. Um, some enemies nearby. Yeah, it's difficult to put into words exactly how it feels like to reach this stage of a mod list this big. Um, because no sane person would pour 10,000 hours into a mod list. No sane person would go the lengths that I did. um I mean, it's not 10,000, it's way more. I just stopped counting after that. Like it was 10,000, I guess, like a couple of years ago. um it's way more than that by now. And no sane person will like put this amount of time and effort into this. And so it's very difficult to like explain how it feels like to finish a project like this. Maybe that's also why I'm like postponing a little bit my I'm like my little finishing touches, because it feels like weird to think that this is eventually going to end. You know what I mean? Ooh, more enemies nearby. Kill all. And well, I hope you're also enjoying my different areas. This is the one that I've changed the most. I pretty much made my entire march. It's always foggy, so no point in trying to make it sunny. It's always foggy in the march. And yeah, just kill the enemies. A lot of like designing and like coming up with concepts. I throughout this entire time, I'm also working a full-time job, so a lot of times I needed like stop and juggle between both. And but like quite often I was like at work and thinking what I could do for my mod list, right? What I could change and update and modify and so on. And a lot of designing, a lot of chasing after people to help like and do this and do that. Like a lot of grunt work, like having to make your own patches by hand, stuff that could take weeks. Like, oh, I'm going to make it so every single armor in my game has like a decent naming convention. And then you have like 4,000 plugins, like I do, and you need to make sure that they're all fine. And I'm also not really a good programmer, so like many things that maybe could have been automated, I just couldn't really do them. Or I needed to like rely on my friends to do them. So that also took a little bit longer to make. Yeah, like my marsh, I'm very proud of it. And finally, I'm just gonna show the zone that's left, is like Winterhold. Like the frigid outskirts. A lot of like blood, sweat, and tears, I guess. A lot of bug fixing. Like bug fixing is the name of the game. I had to fix so many bugs, so many crashes. I have been to the breaking point of like sanity multiple times. I have had so many problems like learning how to do things and how to fix them. Like I have had texture bugs. Like look, I'm looking at snow right now. My snow used to look like butter, and I couldn't for the life of me fix it. Like until I did. Eventually, I did, but it was like a lot of like issues. I used to. Oh. I used to I have a bug that made it so my game had a memory leak and crashed after 15 minutes of game time because I had so many animations, like combat animations, that dynamic animation replacer couldn't handle it. Thank the gods that Ursh made the OR, Open Animation Replacer, that eventually just fixed my issue. I have had world space bugs. I have had like grass crashes that are very difficult to pinpoint what exactly is causing them. I have had, like, in this very zone, like if I walked a little bit like around here, my game would crash because of a grass mod I once was using. Looks plugins that don't work very well with what I have and can crash. Trying to find like the textures I wanted, trying to mix and match to look exactly how I want, like this ice, right? Like so much mix and matching and making my own textures and modifying my stuff and testing it and creating outfits. Like I make the outfit for my gear, right? Like creating outfits, like a huge part of it. I made a lot of outfits. Dying the load, like making sure that like the loads are looking good, creating 3D models for the trees, adjusting the audio levels of my OST, like the music and so on. Checking every zone, making sure that the parallax in the ice, it's looking nice. Making sure my enemies don't crash my game when they die, or making sure that every single one of my NPC looks unique, has their own armor and personality, and they don't have like face bugs. They don't look like potatoes, you know. Even Lorim has a couple of potato faces, you know, that they get by the cracks. If you do Siren route in Lorim, some of the characters are going to have potato faces. And they're like a huge team doing that. And I'm not like throwing shade at them or anything. It's just what I'm saying is that it's such a monumental task to make sure your mod list, it's exactly how you envision it. It's why nowadays I recommend people to use Wabajak mod lists, and why most, you know, I wouldn't recommend most people to do this. It's just the amount of effort and work that you need to pour into it. It's something else. It's crazy. It's like very, very tiresome. Even running, you see, like running, I have a game breaking almost game breaking bug in my game that for some reason, and I never figured it out, makes it so my running speed, it's like 3 or 4 times more than what it should be. So I had to be creative. I had to create like a spell, and this spell is a passive that every one of my races have at different levels that reduces their running speed and makes it so, like, for example, my Khajiit, they run much faster than my other characters. And now the bug is like pretty much fixed in that sense, in the sense that like I created a workaround fix that makes it so the original bug is not there anymore, even though it still is, but it's like being overridden. And yeah, so like this is also to showcase in a way what you can create, like what you can do if you make your own mod list. I'm not saying it will be like mine. I'm saying that at the end you'll feel extremely proud of the journey you have taken. I have thousands upon thousands upon thousands of pictures, videos, and clips of my mod list, all of the development of it. In fact, I can show you one last thing. If I travel to... Oh, actually, I don't have it. If I travel to Solitude, you will have something that you are extremely proud of. by the end. But it will cost you a lot of time and a lot of pay, and you need to be like very, very patient. You need to be very patient. It will be an insane journey because at the end of the day, even though the base game is already there, if you want to completely overhaul your game, you are pretty much making a new one. Like, yes, you are not like making everything from scratch, but you are just a single person working on overhauling a gigantic game, and you are not like using a team for that. You are using like assets from an infinite amount of people, and you are trying to like make it seamless and work well, right? So
I'm sorry, the museum is currently closed until further notice.
there. Look, I just noticed like a little bug that I can fix, which is the textures of those skeleton heads. But again, like it goes to show that like even after thousands of hours, there's still stuff that you need that you will find that you can like improve and so on. It's like up to you to know what you want to do and knowing how much effort it will take and like what you can do about it. Like yeah, it's very tiresome, but I think it's also very, very worthwhile. Is it in the library that I want to go? I don't think it is actually. Maybe the dragon. No, it's not the Dragonborn Hall. I want to like finish off the video like completely by maybe it's the library, by just showcasing what I meant, like enjoying your it's not there, enjoying like your progress and like appreciating the milestones that you reach. Maybe it's here. I'm not so sure actually. It's like a big mouth. Is the exhibit halls maybe? Or perhaps it's actually the Dragonborn gallery. No, it's here. It's the exhibit halls. The paintings that you get in Dragonborn painting, in Legacy of the Dragonborn, in my game, when I put those paintings, it will place pictures that I have taken throughout my modding journey. They're like little reminders of this crazy adventure that I've been on. And yeah, these are like pictures that I have taken over the years of like my game. And yeah, like when I look at them, they are, very nostalgic. They bring like certain memories that, only building your own mod list will give you. Like Wabajak will not really give you this experience, this like creating your own game experience, which I think it's very unique and it's like very, very beautiful. It's very tiresome, but when it works and when it's like near the end, it's a feeling that it's very difficult to explain. I'm very proud of my mod list. I mean, that's why I'm making this video in the first place. Even if I never publish this, I don't know if I will or not, or if I'm only going to share it with a couple of people. But I wanted to like make this just so I could, look back at it and be proud of what I did, of the like this insane adventure that I've been on. It's been half a decade, like it's been more than 5 years building this world brick by brick, mod by mod, plugin by plugin, and it's been such a crazy adventure. Yeah, like I look at these pictures and I feel so happy. Like Yeah, and I have some more like in the Dragon Hall. Like my characters, I hear different older versions of my characters right as I was making them. So I like remember, their progress and the path that I've like taken. I suppose like it's cool to actually. That's like one of the biggest reason why I have Legacy of Dragonborn. It's like I love collecting, but it's also because I wanted to like create my own memoir of my adventure throughout the years. This needs a fix. My adventure throughout like all of these years, like from the start. I started with just I'm just going to add a couple of fixes and make a couple of graphic updates, and then the rest is history. Then I was at it for 5 years. So yeah, like I'm going to the model is not finished, as I said. There's very little details that need to be updated. Eventually, once Glen Morrill is fully out, I will finish what I started. I'm going to like finish those little details that I have left that are in my to-do list. But yeah, once it's done, I'm going to finally close this chapter. I'm finally going to consider my mod list done. I'm going to back it up, save it, and it's going to be like my own little experience that I have crafted and that like no one else in the world has. And I think like it might sound selfish, I guess. Like many people believe I'm like selfish because I don't want to like share my mod list, but it's like my dream game that I've been making for myself. It's like something that I have created over the years that I'm very proud of, and makes me extremely happy to like look at. And when I play it, I know it will be not only a collection of my effort, but a unique experience that no one else can have, and it's just mine. And it's like a love letter that I have written to myself. And yeah, that's it. That's all there is to say, like about everything. I suppose I'm certain there's like stuff I might have forgotten. Like again, like 5 years building a mod list this big. There's going to be stuff that I don't even remember anymore. So it's already going to be a surprise when I do find it out. But I hope that for me, watching this in the future, it's something that will make me shed like a little tear and be proud of what I did. And for anyone else to be inspiration, I hope. That doesn't really matter how long it takes. It will be worth it, and it will be something that you are going to be proud of. It doesn't really matter. It's not even just Skyrim modding, like whatever goal you really put your mind to, that doesn't really matter how long it takes. By the end, it will be something that you can look back upon and think like it was worth it. Being alive was worth it for this little experiences and all of these little moments. And yeah, I hope you have a great day. I hope you enjoyed like the showcase of my mod list. I hope you excuse the fact that I fumbled a lot of my words. It's completely unscripted. I'm just talking as I go. So everything that I'm saying is coming straight out of my brain at the moment I'm saying it. It's not written anywhere. Yeah, thank you if you watched everything. Thank you, 1,000 thank yous. I hope you also create your own magnum opus, your own thing that will make you proud. And yeah, that's it. Have a great day. Thank you.